Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Man shot dead at bus stop in Halfway Tree. Two people were on Sunday shot in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew, one of whom has died. The gun attack occurred on Sunday afternoon on North Uden Avenue in the vicinity of the Halfway Tree Transport Center. According to alleged eyewitnesses, the man was at the bus stop when men on a motorcycle approached and opened fire at him. A woman was also shot in the incident. The man, whose identity has not yet been released by the police, reportedly died on the spot. The woman was taken to hospital. The killers escaped. Fast food delivery man shot to dead in St. Elizabeth identified. Police have identified a fast food delivery man gunned down on Coke Drive in Santa Cruz on Saturday evening. He is 22-year-old Monica Jones, otherwise called Mako, a resident of Southampton in St. Elizabeth. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Superintendent Dwight Daly said about 7:40 p.m. Jones was delivering fast food to a location when he was shot dead. He went to deliver KFC, and as he reached the spot, loud explosions were heard. It seems as though he was targeted, Daly said. We are appealing to anyone with information to call the Santa Cruz Police Station at 876-966-2289, Police 119 number 311, or the nearest police station, he added. Body found with wound to the head in Manchester. Police are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of a man whose body was found in Shudley, Manchester on Sunday morning. Head of the Manchester Police Superintendent Lloyd Darby said about 5:30 a.m. police were alerted to the community where the man's body was found with a wound to the head on a roadway. A reliable source told reporters that the man is from New Jersey in the United States. Two men arrested, firearm seizure in Lucy. The Hanover police seized a Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 12 rounds of ammunition at Old Pen Hopewell in Hanover on Sunday, June 26. Reports are that about 4:30 a.m., a joint police military team was on patrol in the area when the driver of a bike was signaled to stop. The driver and the pillion were searched, and the weapon was found in a bag that was being carried by the pillion. Both men were arrested for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Police say the investigations are ongoing. Cop fired shots during verbal altercation, says he feared for his life. A police constable who discharged his gun during a verbal altercation with a man in the Kingston 10 area on Saturday says he did so in fear of his life. The cop, who is assigned to the Constant Spring police station, made the claim in a report he filed regarding the incident, reporters understand. A video of the incident has been making the rounds on social media. It purportedly shows the police officer discharging his firearm several times during a verbal altercation with another male. The incident reportedly happened on Saturday, June 25th, about 12 a.m. on Sawyer Road, Kingston 10. According to reports, the constable drove an unmarked vehicle and was in the process of parking on the sidewalk when he was approached by a group of men who were standing in close proximity, who then started hurling insults at him to the effect of explosive, "You can't park here, so." He eventually parked and exited the vehicle when a male said to be him, "Watch your police," as he was dressed in plain clothes with marked clothing vests, with his regulation numbers clearly displayed on the same. The man in question reportedly started advancing to the cop in a menacing manner, stating, "You a fool, what you go do? A gunshot someone uno come forget," and reaching for his waistband. At this point, the cop reportedly became fearful for his life and pulled his service pistol and discharged 3 warning shots in the air. The man reportedly stopped advancing and then continued before the cop, still fearful for his life, discharged 2 more rounds in the air. The situation reportedly did not de-escalate, so the cop drove off to seek assistance. The firearm was packaged, labeled and sealed, and seen processed by an agent of the Independent Commission of Investigations in Decom. The firearm was later handed over to an amateur of safekeeping pending ballistic testing, according to information reaching reporters. St. Catherine DJ charged with murder. St. Catherine disc jockey Omar Mandison, 26, has been charged with murdering a man in Gregory Park in the parish in May. Mandison is from Careless Drive in Portmore, the police say. 41-year-old Mason, Richard by Law Bromfield, of a Christian Gardens address in Gregory Park was shot dead on May 7. Mandison was arrested in Gregory Park on June 17, the day a state of public emergency was declared for St. Catherine. He's been charged with murder, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. His court date is being finalized. The police say about 11:45 a.m. on May 7, Bromfield and the woman were standing on Oaklawn Lane when they were pounced upon by two men who shot at them. 3 persons were taken to hospital, where Bromfield succumbed to his injuries, and the women were admitted for treatment. Shakarya Richards fails to reach 200-meter final at U.S. trials. Sprint star Shakarya Richards failed to reach the 200-meter final in the U.S. World Championship trials on Sunday, her last shot at an individual event after she crashed out of the 100-meter first round. Richards finished 5th in her semi in 22.47 seconds, 10th fastest of the field. It's a disappointing finish to the trials for Richardson, who sprinted to an impressive victory at last year's U.S. Olympic trials, but saw her dream of Olympic gold in Tokyo end after she was suspended for testing positive for marijuana. Government with egg on their faces after failed Commonwealth genset bid Golden. Opposition leader Mark Golden says the campaign for Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith to be elected Commonwealth Secretary General was a waste of taxpayers' money and divided CARICOM. Claiming that a bag of money was spent on the campaign, Golden is calling for the government to provide an account of the total expenditure. His comments came 2 days after Johnson-Smith failed in her bid to unseat incumbent Baroness Patricia Scotland, who polled 27 votes to beat the Jamaican who received 25 votes. Golden, in addressing a People's National Party divisional conference in Papine St. Andrew on Saturday, remained adamant that the Jamaican government should have ensured that Johnson-Smith would have been successful in the race for Commonwealth General Secretary before contesting it. The government decided to divide CARICOM to push up a candidate for Jamaica to contest the Caribbean candidate. How strange, Golden said amid rise of comrades who chanted in support of his claims. I said to myself, if you make a move like this, you have to have the thing for luck. It no make no sense you push out and you might lose. You spend a whole bag of money, government money, taxpayers' money. I want to know how much that is, he said. The opposition leader maintained that the move by the government to place a candidate against Scotland was a misguided mistake and a messy one. They have eggs on their face again, asserted Golden. According to Golden, the government's focus should have been on the local economy, especially at a time when oil and gas prices are rising globally, combined with disruptions in the supply of goods. Comrades, we are in a time when life is getting harder and harder on people. We warned them, the government, about it in the budget debate in March, and we gave them some suggestions. I told the Prime Minister, this is going to be a rocky year coming out of 2 years of pandemic, and it has disrupted the international system that supply goods and prices are rising in basic commodities, oil and gas, stated Golden. Proposing Catherine SOE regulations not constitutional, PNP claims. The opposition People's National Party PNP says it will not support regulations the government has proposed to fully implement the St. Catherine State of Emergency SOE because they are not compliant with the Constitution. Opposition leader and party president Mark Golden made the disclosure Sunday at the party's National Executive Council meeting in St. Mary. Based on our review, those regulations do not pass mutters, and they are amendments that have to be made to them before we will ever support them, said Golden. He did not give any specific provision that he claimed was not constitutional. Golden said he will be writing to Attorney General Dr. Derek McCoy on Monday to outline his party's position. The St. Catherine SOE was declared on June 17, but after 14 days, the government will need support from the opposition if it wants the measures to be extended. The government has the numbers to carry the motion to the House of Representatives, but it will need the backing of at least one opposition member in the Senate. The government proposed the new SOE regulations in the House last Thursday after admitting that ones introduced 2 days earlier were not correct. Recent court rulings on past SOE regulations have forced Holness administration to revise the procedures to comply with the Constitution of Jamaica's right to liberty and freedom of movement. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says a probe has been launched into the tabling of the wrong resolution. He also said some persons currently detained since the SOE declaration have been arrested under the Jamaica Constabulary Force Act and not under the regulations. An upsurge in murders triggered by an internal feud in the one other gang prompt imposition of the SOE in St. Catherine, the government said. Under state of emergency, members of the security forces get extraordinary powers that impact people's fundamental rights. Members of the security forces may search places without a warrant and arrest and detain people without the usual constitutional constraint of having to quickly take detainees before the court for hearing or bail. 164 new COVID-19 cases in Jamaica, 6 deaths reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 164 new COVID-19 cases and 6 deaths on Saturday, June 25th, bringing the infection total to 142,440 and total deaths to 3,119. The new cases comprise 100 females and 64 males, with ages ranging from 56 days to 92 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 58, St. Catherine 25, St. James and St. Mary 18 each, Portland 10, Clarendon and Trelawney 7 each, St. Thomas and Westmoreland 6 each, Manchester 5, St. Elizabeth 3 and Hanover 1. The deceased include a 93-year-old male from St. James, whose death was reported in January 2022, an 82-year-old male from Clarendon previously under investigation from February 2022, a 64-year-old male from St. James, a 53-year-old male from St. James, a 78-year-old male from Portland, an 88-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew. There were 82 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 90,561. Currently, 110 people are hospitalized, 34 of whom are moderately ill, 6 severely ill, and 4 critically ill. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest round of testing is 20.4%. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.